Good morning, everyone. Today we are starting the topic root locus. Root locus. As the name implies, when we draw a locus of the roots of any characteristic equation, it is called root locus. And the locus of the roots will show us, will give us the conditions, the situations when when our system will be stable, or up to how much extent my system will be stable, and when the system will be marginal stable and when the system will be unstable, right? So root locus shows the absolute stability as well as relative stability. It is the advanced form of Rauthervis criteria. Obviously, it uses Rauthervis criteria also for drawing root locus. But it's a graphical way for determining the stability. And graphically, we can say that after this point, the system will be unstable, and up to this extent, the system is stable, right? So, the root locus is a technique used as a stability condition or as a stability criteria. It also provides a measure of sensitivity of roots to the variation in parameter being considered. Root locus is a technique used as a stability criteria. It also provides a measure of sensitivity of roots, measure of sensitivity of roots to the variation in parameter being considered. किसी एक पैरामीटर के वैरी होने से आपका जो रूट्स की सेंसिटिविटी है वो कहां तक वैरी करती है, उसी का मेजर है आपका रूट लोकस, राइट? So the root locus is a technique used as a stability criteria. It also provides a measure of sensitivity of roots to the variation in parameter being considered. The locus of all the values of S that satisfy the characteristic equation is root locus. The root locus is categorized into two types based on the value of k. First, root locus, and second, the complementary root locus. Root locus and complementary root locus. It is the root locus is the portion of root locus when k is positive and complementary root locus is the portion when k is negative. Root locus is the portion when k is positive and complementary root locus is the portion of root locus when the k is negative. And what is the k? What is the k? K is the parameter which is being varied. K is the parameter which is being varied to draw the locus of the roots. Right? The characteristic equation is ds plus kns is equal to 0, and this is the k which is the parameter that is being varied for the root locus. Right? Let gs hs be written as gs hs is equal to k g1s h1s. In that case, the characteristic equation 1 plus gshs, in that case 1 plus gshs is equal to 0 can be written as 1 plus k g1s h1s is equal to 0, and from here g1s h1s is equal to minus 1 by k. g1s h1s is equal to minus 1 by k, and if I find the magnitude of g1s h1s, it becomes 1 over modulus of k. It becomes 1 over modulus of k, where k is being varied from minus infinity to infinity. Where k is being varied from minus infinity to infinity. and the angle G1s H1s, angle of G1s H1s becomes 2k plus 1 pi, becomes 2k plus 1 pi when k is greater than or equal to 0 and it is equal to 2k pi when k is less than 0. So the complete root loci are constructed by finding all points in S plane that satisfy the angle conditions and then the values of k along the root loci are determined using magnitude condition. So the magnitude condition is modulus of G1s H1s is equal to 1 by mod of k, and angle condition is when k is greater than or equal to 0, angle will be 2k plus 1 pi, and when k is less than 0, angle will be 2k pi. So to draw complete root locus, first we have to satisfy the angle conditions, and from here we will have to find the value of k, and with this value of k we will find the magnitude and then draw the complete root locus. Now property of root locus. Properties of root locus. Properties of root locus. What are the properties of root locus? There are several properties of a root locus, and after knowing that properties only we can draw a root locus, right? So the first one is the k is equal to 0 and k is equal to infinite points. K is equal to 0 and k is equal to infinite points. The k is equal to 0, this point on the root loci are at the poles of GS HS. K is equal to 0 point on the root loci are at the poles of GS HS, because GS HS is equal to K G1S H1S, or we can say that G1S H1S is equal to 1 by minus 1 by K. As K is equal to 0, G1S H1S tends to infinity, and G1S H1S will be infinity at its poles. G1S H1S will be infinity at its poles. So K is equal to 0 point is where the poles of the GSHS exists. The poles of GSHS and the poles of G1S H1S both are same. So the K is equal to 0 point on the root loci is where the poles of the GSHS exist, right? And the K is equal to infinity point, or we can say plus minus infinity point on the root loci are at the zeros of GS HS. Look at this. If we put here infinity, then G1S H1S becomes 0. And when this value will be 0, when this value will be 0 at the zeros of G1S H1S, and the zeros of G1S H1S will be the zeros of GSHS. So K is equal to infinity point is where the zeros of GSHS occurs. So first property says we have to find the 2 points. First K is equal to 0 point and second K is equal to infinity point. K is equal to 0 point is where the poles of the GSHS exists, and K is equal to infinity points are where the zeros of GSHS are exist, right? Second property, number of branches on the root loci. Number of branches of the root locus. How many branches will be there? The order of the transfer function is the number of branches of root locus. Order of the transfer function is the number of branches of root locus. जितना भी ऑर्डर होगा आपके ट्रांसफर फंक्शन का, that will be the order of, sorry, that will be the number of root locus branches. It means if poles are greater than zeros, if poles, number of poles are greater than zeros, then number of branches is equal to P. Then number of branches is equal to P if zeros are greater than poles, then number of branches will be equal to zeros, and if P is equal to Z, then N will be equal to P is equal to Z. So the order of the transfer function is the number of branches of root locus. Right? Third, root locus is symmetrical with respect to the real axis of S-plane. Fourth, the root locus is symmetrical with respect to the axis of symmetry of pole zero configuration of GSHS. Pole zero configuration of GSHS. Right? What does it mean? Means that the root locus if this is our S-plane, then the root locus will be symmetrical with respect to this real axis. It means if I am drawing a curve like this, then its mirror image will be here, and now the root locus is complete. This is the third point. If root locus is like this, again it is symmetric about the real axis, right? If the roots of the poles and zeros of the GSHS are like this. If poles and zeros of GSHS are like this, and let us suppose the axis of symmetry of this pole zero configuration is, one axis of symmetry is this and second axis of symmetry is this. If there are two axes of symmetries, then our root locus will be symmetric to both the axes. Means this will be like this and this. Now our root locus is symmetric about this axis and about this axis also, right? This is the meaning of fourth point, right? In the next video we'll move forward to the other properties of the root locus. Thank you.